What is up, YouTube? It is me, the Artisan MC. The car again, on the road again, on the way home again. Friday again, freedom ride. So if you can hear me, give me a one in the chat, and then I'll know if I need to put the top close. Not, I'm going to enjoy this cool weather and clear skies. Drop both tops. Cut my hair and open the roof. So I'm feeling kind of good. On my way back to the casa, get some dinner, and then start doing this packing thing. I think I got the first part out of the way is that all my clothes are clean. So I don't have no dirty clothes to worry about washing and packing up. My stuff is clean. Just mail and paperwork. What up, Two Trail? Shout out to you. Hungry, but I don't want y'all to see me eating a banana on screen. I don't need nobody making no jokes about, man, you saw that stream? Artisan was deep throating a banana, nigga. Won't be me. Nope. Broke that shit off. Need my potassium for today. Because I was sweating like a runaway slave today. Maybe I lost some weight in my head. So, I was thinking about the question E Black asked me this morning, which was a good question. Which is funny because I don't get a lot of geek questions like that. I'll come here, listen to me talk because I'll monologue. But that question and having to go into explaining that question Gave me a good laugh to start the day off with, which actually made me feel a little good all day. So when I jumped back in my car to leave work, holy shit, I forgot to clock out. I forgot to clock the fuck out. I have to go clock out. I have to clock out. Dang it. Moron. And that's not really negative self talk. That's just reminding myself what it is that I just did. Did not clock out. I used the restroom. I left. I didn't clock out. Now I have to remember what time I left. Stupid shit. So I was feeling so good. Forgot to clock out. But starting the day off with that good little laugh made everything I did after that more enjoyable. Yeah, too Trev. I hate when that happens too because supervisor is off today, even though he showed up to work. It was a good thing I didn't remember before I was completely out of here. They probably wouldn't think nothing of it as late as I work sometimes. It's like, oh, were you on call? Oh, whatever. Motherfuckers was gone before we get off at 5. They was out of there by 4:30. Some of them. They stay wanting to leave work early. I personally like getting stuff done. I like a lot of shit rolling over a bunch of days. Anyway, I got back in my car. I was remembering the laugh that I had before I got out of it first time that morning. And that's why I gave the title that it did, because it made me laugh. It just made me think about it. I don't get asked a lot of real geek questions like that often, which is funny because it's like the geek channel and motherfuckers don't ask me questions like that. Weird. I do vaguely remember some of the other stuff that was happening. They're asking about this Ahsoka stuff. I told you, I'm not overly feeling the show. I like the character, but the show is not doing too much for me because it's too much of copy and paste from other places. So, not sure what I'm supposed to be excited about. Not gonna get overly excited because I'll see live action version of the same shit I already saw in the Clone Wars, like verbatim. That's not exciting because it's not new. If it was live action, it was something different, that would be different. But if it's live action and do the same shit you already did, then why the fuck are we watching it again? Bigger, more intense? No, dude. Stop. Show making Dave look more like a fucking no talent hack. Somebody told me George Lucas's daughter, which I didn't know he had an adopted daughter. Don't like Dave Filoni, and I want to hear why. I'm beyond curious. But according to her, she said he ain't did nothing original ever. And she's a writer, so damn, I definitely want to hear her story. But question was fun. Those are the kind of questions you have in the comic shop. Just to be bullshit with each other. It's like my dirty joke about why Reed Richards never divorced Sue. It's like seeing it inside. Why Sue and Ben and Reed are so close. Ben found a condom that can fit him. They like seeing it inside. So, no simple shit. Fun stuff. Like whose fire is hotter, Johnny Storm or Rainfire? Don't know who Rainfire is? Check out Sunspot. Rainfire is the evil version. Youth Liberation Front. So whose fire is hotter? Sunspot or the Human Torch? These are questions on geeks' minds. I saw Stupendous Wave Channel is saying Balin is feeling the call of Abeloth on that planet. Hey, I was thinking about Abeloth when I mentioned her in my review of Ahsoka, right? When I was talking about Gavar Kai and Vistara Kai and all that, right? I mentioned Abeloth, which nobody had mentioned online before, outside of Star Wars theory, right? And Abeloth could be strong enough to draw um, Force users to her, because that's what she was doing. So it would get you to that font or nexus or something or other. I forget what it was called. But in that place, you can get to other places too. So if they did that, he would just be ripping off from Legends Canon's novels, which would really piss me off. It would, because the legacy of the Force or the Fate of the Jedi series could be its own set of movies or TV shows. Either way, TV show would probably be better because then you would have Luke and Ben going to different planets, right? It'd be fun. It'd be like father and son together. You probably wouldn't get it because it would highlight fathers and sons relationship, and media don't like that shit nowadays. They have to throw a chick in there somewhere. But it would be too much. It'd be a lot of front loading with people understanding who Mara Jade is, how Mara Jade and Luke got together, how they had a son named Ben Skywalker, and how uh, Luke's nephew Jason Solo killed his auntie Mara Jade. That was an awesome story, dude. That series was awesome. I'm telling you, you should read that shit. I highly recommend it. But getting out there and Abeloth fucking with these Jedi and making them go crazy and stuff like that and attack people, that would be a hell of a story, because that was why um, Luke Skywalker aided and helped Sith, the Kashiri Sith. That was why. The Sith that came from Kesh, the lost tribe of the Sith, he was working with them to take on Abeloth. And that was a problem, dude. It was a whole fucking problem, because they had to band together to attack her. And she was turning motherfuckers while they were fighting and shit. It was a problem. It was a severe problem. Luke got messed up. Luke really got messed up in that shit too. So if he introduced Abeloth in his TV show, that would be cool to see Abeloth live action. But it wouldn't do the story it came from justice. So I would hate him, because he's a regurgitation artist right now. So Shit, he worse than a chick that's what's that, bulimic, right? Take it in, throw it up again. It would make the show, it would cheapen who Abeloth is in the story that she came out of, just to take it for a quick little bullshit for spin for him. What's extra, guys? You got a cute security guard. See if I can hit on it. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
All right, how are you?
You're all set.
Thank you. Know what it means when a woman looks at you and licks her lips? She's thinking about kissing you. Thinking about kissing you, like shit. Kissables. Got them kissables on her face. Yeah, it's the fate of the Jedi books, too, Triv. It's the ones that come after Legacy of the Force. Legacy of the Force was like 7 to 9 books, which were really good. And then you read Fate of the Jedi, and that's the next 6 or 7 books, because it's the fallout from what happened in the Legacy of the Force. What happened after, you know, well, Cadus did what he did. What happened afterwards? It was a lot of shit, because the Fate of the Jedi gets into the Galactic Alliance coming in and telling Luke Skywalker he got to step down as Grand Master, or they're gonna shut down the Order. The Order has to fold into the military, and that's where you get Admiral Dalla coming in and dealing with all the shit that Jason did in the Legacy of the Force series. Fate of the Jedi series is what happens afterwards. And there was, you had Jedis going against Jedi in the temple, getting killed and shit. Like for real, it was a problem. It was a problem, dude. It was anarchy. There was a lot of bullshit going on. Jedi's flipping out in public, just chilling out there. Koran horns kids and shit like that, and just being out amongst the populace, and all of a sudden they seeing Sith and all kind of shit all around them, and whipping out their lightsabers and going after folks, and it's just regular fucking people, but they having delusions and shit. Oh, it was a problem, dude. It was a whole problem. That series was really just amping it up, but it also gave you a good story about father and son, Luke and Ben, traveling the galaxy, going back through Jason's steps to find out where Jason went bad, what made him turn. And you get some cool stories, because Luke and Ben going out to these different worlds that use the Force differently and stuff like that gets you into a master and apprentice kind of situation, where Luke, they touch down on one planet and they want to talk to these Force users here, and they're not Jedi, they're just Force users, right? But the master will not accept that Luke is a Grand Master until their Padawans or their apprentices fight. And based on how Ben fights this other person, will let the master know if he should talk to Luke or not. So Ben gets out there. Mind you, Ben is like 14, 15 years old. His mother is Mara Jade Skywalker. His father is Grand Master Luke Skywalker. 14 or something years old. You get out there on the floor with some dude that's grown and has to have a lightsaber fight. Then Luke is just sitting there watching. He can't say shit. Ben Skywalker is a beast. That little motherfucker is a beast. It's like a little Gohan. And that motherfucker boy, he turned up. Like, why'd you leave me like that, Dad? He said, look, I knew you can handle it. I knew you could handle it. And if you couldn't, we weren't going to get any further in this quest. So good job. Some funny shit. It was some funny shit. Because Luke and Ben going back and forth was fucking, it was kind of comedy. But what you would see is fucking Ben is very capable. At a really young age, he is very capable. By the time he gets to be an adult, he would end up being a grandmaster. He would be that damn powerful and just good with it. What up, E Black? I see. We still smoking that flash pack. Yeah, that flash pack is still got some life in that motherfucker. Man, the 17 took out the intern. Yeah, two trail. Don't spoil the book. Sabatine. Yeah, she look. She had to go after intern master Hamner. He was trying to stop her from doing some goofy shit. She was doing some goofy shit, but the Jedi's was restless. Luke was gone. Hamner was in charge. And they wasn't liking his political ass. Look, masters against masters, and they could council against council members. It was a whole problem at the temple. It was a problem at the temple. Hamner try to keep these motherfuckers cool so they don't get in too much trouble. And they like, nah, man, we need to be doing this. No, Luke left me in charge. That's not what we gonna do. Yeah, fuck him. We gonna do this shit anyway. Sabatines. Saba was something else, man. Master of the Order, while Grandmaster of the Order, while Luke and Ben were with the Brondo Sages. Yeah, they went all over the place. Too Triv. They went a couple of places. The Sages, if I remember correctly, the Sages were the ones who used a different version of the Force. It's still the Force, but it's like at a lower frequency. It's called the White or something like that, and it's actually stronger. It's like mainline and some shit. That shit is a lot stronger. So Luke was teaching Ben how to tap into these different versions of the Force and how to use it. The one I really liked though was that one planet that they were on with the crystals and stuff that they couldn't use the Force at all because using the Force on that planet would cause hurricanes and catastrophic events and shit. That planet was so sensitive to that shit. So you couldn't use the Force at all. So they end up in some problems and they couldn't use the Force. They had to get out of it on their own. I was like, that's awesome. You see how capable these dudes are without having to, just use a lightsaber. It's like Wolverine not using his claws. Thank you. You don't need to use those all the time. That should be the final. That should be the final blow. I wouldn't say anything more. It's Master Sabatine is that bitch. Yeah, Sabatine is that bitch. That's why I don't like Sabine Wren. It's to me in my head, it's a play on Sabatine's name. That's what it is. Because Sabatine is a motherfucker. She is a master. She's on the council, and that was Leia's master. So look, you think Leia fierce? There's a reason that snake bitch don't play. Saba, that snake bitch don't play around, dude. She do not play. Give me 1 second while I go clock out of this damn. Wow, 1 sec, 1 sec. All right. And we're back. I hate missed punches. As a supervisor, they would get on us about that shit. About people when they miss punches. They want us to write folks up for that shit. I'm like, come on, man. No, it's like stealing time. They need to be on the dot, on the minute. I said, how they gonna be on the minute if it's 6 people in line at the damn punch out clock? Each one of them takes probably 15 seconds to get through all this shit if they had their fucking finger clean and the reader read it. Dude, they gonna look, let's chill on the minute. Chill on the minute. It's okay. Did not like missed punches. Especially not on a Friday. I've already looked at your time and ready to go. I do not want to be going backwards on that shit. All right, so where we at? Yeah, Master Hamner, he got fucked up. I liked him though. I understood why he was doing what he was doing. He was more political, right? He was a more political appointee, and that's why Luke put him there so he can work with the Galactic Alliance better than some of them hot-headed fucking hot-headed Jedi's on the council. Saba's hot-headed. She really ain't got that much chill. She ain't really got that much chill. Well, you see what happened. Nope. Master Hamner started a whole fucking infight. But it's good. Big old sun in the sky. Big old sun in the sky. Nice breeze and ain't even hot. You love being alive. So, look, if Abeloth is on the planet, that would be interesting. But as far as I know, there is no second season of Ahsoka coming because Disney canceled that shit. They canceled it before the first season came out. Part of that whole cost containment plan. They canceled that shit. So, for all the breadcrumbs a motherfucker trying to leave to something else, might not get it. He might have to roll that shit into his Heir to the Empire remake movie. Might have to roll it into that because, as far as I know, there ain't no second season coming. Forget that shit. They'll do spin-off shows, spin-off characters, without a straight-up second season because then they got to pay Rosario Dawson some more money. They're already trying to kill the Mandalorian, give John less money to do season 4 to fix that bullshit that happened in season 3. KK still put her hand on the wheel. Got Dave, good goofy. She offered me a part in her movie. So he didn't give a fuck about killing John's characters and shit. He going off to do his own thing. So we'll see what happens with this shit. Hamner is dope in the iJedi books. I didn't read the iJedi books, but like I said, Hamner was just more political. He knew how to talk to the politicians and stuff like that. So I didn't hate on him at all. The Jedis in Luke's new Jedi Order were very interesting because each one of them had their own backstory that was interesting. People that he relied on and stuff like that, those stories were more fun because they were tied to legacy, but they told forward looking stories. Like say the Legacy of the Force stuff, right? Or they do that fighter run on, I think it's Corelli, right? And you have Wedge Antilles, General Antilles, helping out Luke and the Jedi's doing a secret mission. But his daughter is on the Corellian Defense Force, and she don't know her daddy on this mission. She almost tried to shoot down her father. She almost shot down her daddy because it's a secret mission, so he didn't tell anybody. He's supposed to be retired. So Wedge Antilles out there in a starfighter, juking and jiving and shit like that, doing some cool shit. And the person behind him is his daughter, and she recognizes those moves. Like, what the fuck? So he didn't know who was behind him until he flipped the script on her. They're like, oh shit, this might be only one person I know knows that maneuver, because I taught it to him. And then he figured out it was his daughter. She's about to shoot his ass down. But you get fun stuff like that because you know these people's backstory already. You know how badass of a pilot Wedge is, how long he's been around, what he's been through, all the scrapes he's been through. He's part of Rogue Squadron and everything. But then you see him at an older age, his 40s and 50s. He has all that respect built up. So when he's out doing something, you're getting his kids and whatnot. It makes it more fun. You feel like you're part of the story now because you're like, man, they don't know who they fucking with. That's Wedge. That's Wedge Antilles, man. Can't fuck with Wedge. Yeah, there's some other good starfighters outside of Luke and Han. You fucking got about Wedge? Come on. But that's fun to me. That was always fun to me. Reading those books, seeing these characters older, and then dealing with their kids a bit was fun. It was just all fun. So that's why when Disney bought it, the Legacy of the Force books were out. That was the hottest thing. And that's what they should have made into the movies. But what they did is start picking off of it like a goddamn vulture and throwing different pieces of it into the bullshit they were making. I should say cannibalizing shit. Oh, we're throwing all that canon away, but right after I take this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. I had to put up the top. Put them too windy now. Little too windy now. It's soft for me too. But I realize I'm yelling myself. So I don't want to be yelling at y'all. The lights are going down in my city. The sun is about to shine on the bay. All right, what did two Tribs say? I can read it. Ahsoka is weak because they rushed through it. So yeah, Ahsoka is weak because it wasn't even rushing. Dave had time to do this shit. He wasn't rushing nothing. He was taking his time. Probably because he was trying to figure out what he wanted to take from different places. Ahsoka is weak because Rosario Dawson is not a spring chicken. She's not. She looks the part. She really does look the part. She's doing really good as far as she's doing. But the next thing that they would do, they want to do like a prequel and get a younger Ahsoka. Wedge is dope. I love how they geek out over ship upgrades and tweaks. Yeah, Wedge is that dude. General Antilles. Yeah, Wedge is that dude because he been there. You know, you see him show up somewhere, Wedge has been there because you remember the movies. Even if you never read the books, you remember the movies. So if they said, "Oh, Wedge Antilles," you're like, "That was wait, that was the dude that was fucking with Luke." Oh hell yeah, that was Rogue Squadron. So that's why I was looking forward to the what's her name? What's her name? Real cute chick. One that did Wonder Woman. I forget her name right now. I keep wanting to say Catherine Bigelow, and that's not her fucking name. But that's why I was looking forward to a movie the movie she was going to do, which was that Rogue Squadron movie. I was looking forward to that because I would like to see some adventures of Rogue Squadron. I would, as long as they didn't try to make it that Star Wars Battle um, Battalion or whatever the fuck that game is, where you could play starfighters and have fighter combat and all that shit, but all they did was throw a bunch of chicks into it. I think it's Battalion or something like that. I have it shit. It's a fun game. I just thought story wise they could have had some dudes in it, but it didn't have to be all females. If Disney was smart, they'd to Trev. First part of that sentence, I'm gonna need you to back up and read it again and stop about the fifth word in. If Disney was smart. Correction. What a smart person would do. Disney has been showing you they are not smart. Shot the goose with the goat that laid the golden eggs in the face. Shot it in the face and tried to change his gender while they were doing it. And won't stop. So Disney ain't smart. Walt Disney might have been smart. Disney, the company, is dumb as fuck. Run by some fucking mutton heads. Can't figure out what side of a political agenda they want to be on. You're not supposed to be political in entertainment. In entertainment, you ain't supposed to be political. You want to make a play? Be political. You want to sell to the global market? Stay out of politics. It's not your fucking thing. That is not your job. Look at where your stock price is. Mad at you right now because they fucking up. They won't get that shit down about $75 so I can buy a lot of it. Y'all hovering around 80. Want it down to 75. So say something else stupid so I can get that stock price I want. I don't want to buy at 80. I do want to buy at below 80. I'll even go at 77. You got on fighters and Starship. If they were smart, but all they keep doing is repainting old stuff, right, from the Clone Wars, repainting those. So, oh, this was the original color. Gives a fuck. You didn't make anything new. Retooling the old shit like the Naboo fighter, like Mando's Naboo fighter. Yeah, the Naboo fighter was cool. It was. But okay, you gave me another one with a little different color scheme. I think it'd be really cool if you put some Beskar on that bitch. Make it look like some of the Mandalorian ships from the novels. Look like flying fucking bricks, but they made out of Beskar and shit. Tough as hell to fuck up. Like a flying tank, like a flying M1. But no, they just keep rehashing shit, which means torso to the most unoriginal fucking company ever. None of these people can create anything new. Like, There's one dude that I would trust. I think I would trust to run Lucasfilms that has the love and is creative. And that's Doug Chang. Doug Chang been there for all of that shit. He's been there for a minute and a half. He's been there a while. He involved in all that shit. He does, I believe he does concept designs and all kind of shit. Asian dude. Get that shit to him to run. I don't give a fuck. At least I know he got some love for this the way it is and can be creative, something new. Not just regurgitory. That's even a word, but I use it correctly. So I show some love, make it a word. Shout out to Eric McKee. Yes. At least we start getting some more creativity. Because the last creative thing that Disney, Star Wars produced, Lucasfilms produced, was goddamn mods. And those did not fit in Star Wars. Fucking Vespa gang. Fuck you. Fucking Power Rangers. Almost hit that goddamn car. Fucking moron. Sorry, I can't see it. I got the sun in my eyes right now, and these dumbass people boxing me in. Just jump. They lane my lane. They lane my lane. Any vans and SUVs driving like nutcases. Pull forward or fall back. Stop sitting in my fucking, trying to sit in my blind spot. Asshole. Anyway, what did Tutrill say? They got their A-Wing, E-Wing, and all kinds of shit, but they ain't seen much to shit. Yeah, because they just keep using the old stuff. They just keep using the old stuff because that's what was created before them. Put it this way. What do you think a Dave Filoni ship design would look like? Now, Ahsoka's ship right now that she had looks interesting, but it looks like a traditional ship design. The only interesting part about it is that it rotates like a B-Wing. It has that cockpit like the Millennium Falcon, but the rest of the body spins around, right? So it flies this way like a fucking Stingray or something. Or you could turn it down and it can fly the same way. Well, that's interesting. But you remember, it's a spaceship. There ain't no air currents up there. So you don't have to conform to the same designs as flying through atmosphere. So you just gave me a U with a cockpit on the front. Okay, a crescent. You have Moon Knight jump out that bitch. It'd be interesting. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like Moon Knight shit. I know they got designs. They're so busy geeking out over the fact that they can go through all this old stuff that wasn't used, that George didn't approve to use. Oh, look, we can get this. George didn't even want to use this. I want to use it. It's the same shit. It looks just like the stuff he did use. So what? George had an idea of how it looked like, and most of that stuff all works together. It has this design language to where you feel you know where it's coming from when you see the ships. Some of that shit don't match anything. Like, say, Luthen's ship in Andor. Or no, not even Luthen's ship. That fucking Star Destroyer or whatever it was in Andor. That was an old concept design, right? Okay, cool. Looks like a Star Destroyer with a bunch of fucking parabolic dishes on the front. It looks stupid. Yeah, we never seen it before, but it don't make it cool because we never saw it before. It makes it look like why he didn't approve that shit. It looks stupid. I mean, think about it this way. You got three big ass parabolic dishes on the front of your ship. When you flying forward, if you float in the atmosphere, if you went down into the atmosphere, it would create so much fucking resistance, you'd barely be able to fly that bitch. And you realize too that these can go in atmosphere. Why the fuck would you have these big ass dishes on the front, stopping all your forward momentum in atmosphere? It's dumb. Dumb shit. But just because George threw it away at one time, oh, we can use this now. Look, we made something new. You didn't make a goddamn thing. No different than in Purple Rain, Prince going through his daddy's old music and then playing the shit. Make this awesome song. Yeah, it was your dad. It was awesome when your dad made it. He just didn't put it out. What up, studio? Two Trips said, well, somebody will bump their head and wake up. Shit. Check their pockets. Feel a little light, they'll wake up. Dave Filoni will mix Star Trek and Enterprise or something. No, it probably steal for some other shit. We'll probably steal for some other shit. Have some shit looking like it came out of Last Airbender. Where he keep introducing new creatures into this shit. Thought I was watching a Jim Henson movie. And people say, damn, I'm late. I'll go back and listen to this later. What up, artists? What up, studio? I'll tell you guys, I hate that shit. But I do it, which is dumb. Like I went to Angry Man's channel before, right? I showed up late, right? It started, I jumped in there late. And when I jumped in there and said, oh, late, I got to catch the replay, I'm sitting there thinking, I said, that's so rude. Why would I join a stream in progress and say I'm going to catch the replay? Are you wanting other people to catch the replay? What if I take the shit down? Then you ain't catching no replay. And for a while, that's how it was with Angry Man streams. He had to take down his streams. So people stopped fucking with his channel. So you had to be there live to catch what was live. You didn't need to jump in and say that you was late. You just need to jump in. Get in the stream and swim. But you don't have to announce that I'm gonna catch the vacuum. You don't announce that shit. Why are you announcing it to everybody else? Who cares? So I stopped doing that shit because I realized it was kind of rude. It's kind of rude to the host running the show forward. Say, oh, I'm gonna come back and catch the replay. Okay. So you don't want to listen to what we're talking about right now? Oh, you can just catch me another time, huh? Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll pull out this bitch. And I was messing with your studio. I'm thinking about it on my end because I told you guys, content creator and a sub. I'm a subscriber to other people's stuff. So I'm an audience member. I was an audience member before I started creating content. So I look at stuff like that differently now when I'm thinking about it, since it doesn't make to tell anybody that shit. And two Triv, I heard recently that Donald Glover was going to come back and do the Lando movie now, which I wouldn't want him to do until KK is gone. But I would like to see some of Lando's stuff, because I heard one Star Wars guy talking about he wouldn't find the Lando series interesting at all. And I'm listening to his ass and say, you just don't like black motherfuckers. You just don't like black characters is what it sounds like. Because I think Lando would be more interested in any of these other fucking Jedi or Sith. You know why? Because Lando out there living in the fucking world, in the galaxy with everybody else. Lando doing deals and got businesses and all kind of shit. That's why if you read the novels, whenever it comes time that they need a ship or need some money or some connections or something like that, they go to Han, and who does Han go to? Motherfucking Lando, because Lando got connects. Lando is a galactic businessman. He owned a whole city that he might have won in a card game. Nigga, that sounds like the most interesting dude in the galaxy to me. You can have all kind of crazy stuff going on with him. You can have him and Han getting into stuff. They boys. They friends forever in the novels. 40, 50 years, they buddies. You had them getting into all kinds of shit. All kinds. Dealing with the gangsters, dealing with the different republics, out on the fringes, mining asteroids, getting his money, getting his paper. Get the fuck out of here. Lando would be interested in shit. And it would never involve Jedis or Sith or the Force. Just dealing with ground level shit like Andor. That would be interesting to me because you never see it. A Lando show could be like a heist movie every episode. A hustle, a grift, every episode. It could be like some James Bond shit. Now, we're going to get out there. We're going to play a little bit of this sabacc. You came up on. I got this cruiser. Really? What else you got? Got a mining planet. Another one? Hey, man, got to keep going. Lando get his money. Okay? No matter who in charge. He get his credits. That's the most interesting man in the galaxy. I need to be rolling with Lando to find out how he get down. But the problem is you have to write that shit. And a lot of these fucking goofballs ain't did nothing criminal, so they probably couldn't write that shit. They can't write this sci-fi worth a fuck without picking and choosing and taking from places. Okay, Lando the same way. They wouldn't know how to write it, which if they were paying any attention, write Lando like Lupin. You know, the black one in Europe, how he was kind of like a thief and shit like that. Write Lando kind of like that, with the hustler edge. He hustles. He hustles. You always got a scheme, always got a plan. Plan and apply. And he get it done and make it legal. Working with whoever you got to work with. Get his paper. Ask T.I. Ask Jay-Z to write it. Ask Jay-Z to write it. Galaxy is talking. Hyperspace is talking. And Lando out there, can I live? That would be interesting. But no, they don't want to do a Lando show because they don't know how to write any of that shit. Because they don't see the potential. I just ran down the potential in less than 5 minutes. And gave you places where you can, since they don't like doing shit but copy and paste it, where you could copy and paste from a show that was actually good. You don't think Donald Glover could write it? The fuck out of here. That one dude got more talent in the writing room at Lucasfilms. Triple. Doing nothing but fucking up this franchise. What's playing with their toys, getting they good wet jollies off because they always wanted to do this with Star Wars toys. And everybody wanted to put their agenda into shit because they never liked this anyway. So they don't have a problem if it kills whatever they put it into. I just want people to listen to me. Pay attention. Respect me. We need some recognition. Or said, shut up. What up, Herb? What up, Toya? It's Friday, girl. What you doing on Friday? Said she loved the thumbnail. I'm falling back. Real shit, Lando be getting it wherever. Yeah, Lando get it. Last book I read, Lando he let them borrow. What was he letting them borrow? Like the Rockhound? Some big ass mining ship he had? And they borrowed it from Lando because he cool with them like that? Like, where the fuck did he get this? Oh, yeah, I think he was married to somebody or some shit like that. I think he got a whole planet. Like, how the fuck he got a planet? What the fuck does Lando do? Lando hustle. Cash money. The fuck? I need to follow him around. We need to know some stories of Lando. Because he always got it. He ain't never without no bread. No credits. Not that galaxy. Empire or not. You see the height of the Empire, Lando had a whole... He getting this credit. They're going looking for them. And if you have to mention that sequel series bullshit, you saw how much stroke Poe had. Poe out there crying for help, nobody answered. Lando showed up with a motherfucking armada. Like, what the fuck? Where'd he find all these people? He might owe them money. They might owe him money. You never know. He a gambler. He's a gambler, a risk taker. You know how to get his credits. Shit, I need to know what's going on with him. Because he interested. Whatever it is, he got it in that galaxy. And make no mistake about it, between the original trilogy, that's the only brother you ever saw. And he is the smoothest nigga out there. So he getting it. No counter this him administrator. This was what have we did? Like, come on, man. You need to know how a brother got that smooth in a galaxy far, far away. That's the story waiting to be told. If he worried about people not liking it because he is a black main character, look. How long did Power run? How long did Power run? You know who watched that shit more than anybody else I know of? Latinos. Latino women. Love Power. Asian women love Power. Old white men love Power. Believe it or not, I work with one. He was devoted watcher of Power. He looked like the biggest redneck you ever seen. He loved that show, Power. Watched it all the time. I'm like, watching this shit for? No cowboy watching that. So shit show, you know, bullshit. Write a shitty show, it don't matter if it look like the whole rainbow. Nobody will watch it. They won't be interested. Yeah, Toy always worried about the wrong damn things. He wrote a decent story. The color don't matter. It doesn't matter unless it gets into the essence of the character, which the character has a struggle that is specific to having this race. It's like, say this. They worry about making James Bond black, right? Well, make James Bond black. You know why? Because a lot of these countries that James Bond usually sneaks around in is mostly white folks. That'd make an interesting story. Because he ain't just gonna get to walk in everywhere. Maybe he does, but not in America. In America, he's gonna get some static. He's gonna stick out because everybody watching. But if he over in Monaco or some shit like that, rolling in smooth with Her Majesty's Secret Service on his credit card, unlimited, black, yeah, he can sit down to a baccarat table and run them. But they would be looking at his ass kind of crazy. Like, who is this? The king of Zamunda? There would be some places he couldn't just slip in and out easily, like Russia. You stick out. You and Nick Fury, nigga. Like, yeah, we saw you at the airport. Yeah, we did. But then you got some fun shit. Then you got some fun shit. You could have James Bond wearing disguises. Turn it into Mission Impossible. Because some places you got to use that dummy mask. You got to put on that white face. Get past the guards and shit like that. You see a 6 foot tall white guy that looks like Tom Cruise? No, I didn't. Oh, let's get that Lando show with the power vibes. Hey, Power would be another good show that they can get. Let 50 Cent write it. Get 50 Cent and Jay-Z, let them tell you some stories, and then you make the Lando show based on that. I think Donald Glover can get in the room with those folks. I think Donald Glover could pull up on them, have a conversation, and get some story ideas. I think he could. They're all about money. They're all about creativity and money. They'd probably do it. So I'd be hyped for a Lando show. It'd be interesting, just like I'm hyped for an Andor show. I don't give a shit that Diego Luna is Latino. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. It just adds some flavoring to the character. But what I do like about the Andor show is it's supposed to be spy shit. Low level, ground level spy shit. No force, no alliance to pull on. Wits. Nigga, wits. And I'm down for that. I can accept that in Star Wars. Because that's how you should be telling stories in Star Wars. This is the world. These are the characters. This is the story of these characters in this world. Was he has force powers? No. Did he fight in the Battle of Hoth? No. He was a kid. Or he was a teenager. He was off on the other side of this little galaxy on this planet doing this shit. Running, ducking, dodging from the po-pos. From the Empire. Breaking out of prison or some shit. That's how the story should be run. That's more interesting. It ain't more interesting to these lights and sirens Spectrum kids that's watching this shit nowadays that's just happy that anything lights up and glows, no matter how fucking inconsistent it is with any other lore, any other canon. They don't give a shit because they don't create. They just consume. And that's what happens when you raise a generation of non-thinking fucking consumers. They don't question what the hell they eat. Where everything is bubble wrap for them. It should have already been safe and checked for poison already. That's what you get. Get these myopic, silly ass stories. that couldn't hold the intellectual intelligence of a grown ass adult for 10 minutes. It has inconsistent storytelling within itself. Never mind fitting into the existing fucking canon. Don't even fit itself. Contradicts itself in its own episodes. Look, that whole movie shit is just so they can get it over with quicker. That's part of their cost containment plan because Disney Plus is losing so many subscribers and money. They're trying to move off of that shit. And Iger wants the box office returns because the box office return actually generates money, right? So while a Lando show has a smaller budget than a movie and you can get more episodes out of it, it doesn't give you an immediate financial return on it. But you make a Lando movie, which is, say, 2 hours, which is 4 episodes, the rate they're going with this shit, right? Which is 4 episodes. Putting it in the box office gives you an automatic return on it. Automatic. You might make 300 million off of the shit. That's a lot better return than waiting on letting it sit on Disney Plus and not really making any money off of it because you don't farm it out to anybody else. You don't license it to anybody else and charge them up the ass to put it on their network and show it. You don't. You keep it to yourself and hoard it, but nobody's watching your shit. That's why I thought it was good and it was dumb to pull everything onto Disney Plus because that shit just got into being cable. I told you guys this before. That's why I didn't like all them streaming services. Everybody got their own service now. Paramount, Columbia, Disney, Fox. Everybody got their own streaming services. I'm not buying all those fucking streaming services because that's going back to paying cable prices for streaming, which is stupid. It's just absolutely fucking stupid. It's like I move next week. I will call the cable company, but I'm not calling them for shit, but to hook up my fucking Wi-Fi. Why? Because I don't need cable. Call the phone company. I don't need cable. I don't even need a landline, nigga. I just need this Wi-Fi to work. Good, strong ass signal. Flat out. DSL. That's all I need. Because everything else, I will stream it. And I don't watch TV that much anyway, so I'm not worried about it. But I'd be goddamned if I'm going to start paying $100 every month just to watch a show on each one of these fucking things and then have them jacking up the prices on it too. Like, oh, we lost subscribers, so you know what that means? It used to be $10. Now it's going to have to be $13 to make up for that person next to you that we lost. That ain't got nothing to do with me, motherfucker. I'm still here. Maybe you need to figure out what you're doing to drive them away and stop doing that shit and leave my rate the same. Because best believe to get people back, they will give them a cheaper rate that they already charging me. Oh, for 6 months, we'll give it to you for $7.99. Like, nigga, ain't you charging me $13? Fuck you. You gonna give them a discount and they ain't even put in on this shit? Fuck you. So that's why the movie instead of the show. They're trying to make money back. They got a bill coming up they got to pay. And Disney needs to make money. They're losing more money than they're making right now. So that's why they would try to pivot that show into a movie. But here's the secret. It was supposed to be a fucking movie anyway. Han Solo, Boba Fett, Lando.
All Star Wars stories originally, all were supposed to be movies. Solo didn't do well at the theaters because of KK. So Boba Fett got turned into a show, which didn't do well at all. It sucked thanks to KK. Lando was the last one that's supposed to be a show. Now they might flip it back to being a movie because they need the money now. Now they need the money because putting it on Disney Plus ain't gonna make people subscribe. Because if you put it all out at one time, they'll watch it for a while and then they'll cancel that fucking Disney Plus. And now you out of that $13, nigga. They'll pay you 1 month, $13 for 1 month after the whole show is out, and you only made $13 off that shit. They watched the whole series later and then canceled that bitch again. So they'd rather get your ass in the theater for 20 and get all of it right there. And if you want to see the shit again, go back to the theater and buy another ticket. Give me another 20. It's money. They're trying to make money. Yeah, Lando's wife is a galactic spy and an info broker. Yes, she is. Which, look, in a Lando movie, I don't have to see her. Just have her show up and plant the seed that he might be interested in her. That they could have something going on. That's why I want a series, because you can get more story out of it. You don't have enough time to tell a whole evolving story in a movie. A movie is just good for giving you a little bit to whet your appetite for possibly another movie. A series, you can develop a character. You can develop a story. If you're any good at fucking writing. If you're no good at writing, you need that one shot. Oh, that's the best I can do. Can I get some juice? You need that. Fucking low T ass beta males. Yeah, I'd see a movie in the theater. I canceled Disney Plus last year. See, studio motherfuckers like you is why I'm paying more now. Fuck you. Give Disney your money for their shitty product. Pay them their money for that shitty product. Gotta pay them because I gotta review this shit for y'all. Told you, I'm the patron saint of geekdom. I'm suffering so you don't have to. I'm up here on my geek cross, suffering so you motherfuckers don't have to. Well, I'm home. I'm gonna take a shower. I don't think I'm gonna go see Expendables 4 tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I had a little bit of a headache because I've been yelling too much in this car. But I want to veg out, man. I got a weekend again, and I got to do some packing. So maybe tomorrow night I'll go see Expendables. Maybe Tori and I have a review up tonight for y'all. But yeah, I'd love to see that Lando show get cracking. I really would. If they talk to some people who really knew how to write it. I need to see the hustle game. I need to see some heist, some trickery, some gambling, you know, some big money moves. I need to see that shit. That's what I need to see happening. Shit, treat it like The Wire. I don't know. Do something good with it. Not this goofy shit though. Not this. He's a pansexual shit and he fuck robots. I don't want to hear. That's not interesting. Stop treating Lando like a fucking joke. That motherfucker always on it. Yeah, start out with a series, finish off with a movie, Herb. I agree. I agree. This look. When Superman Returns came out, the joke that I had to sit in the theater was when they revealed Superman and it was Brandon Routh, everybody was supposed to say, "Where's Tom Welling?" That's what everybody was supposed to say. Where's Tom Welling? Why? Because we had just lived through about 7, 10 seasons of Smallville. gotten used to Tom Welling being Clark Kent, the family, all the rest of that shit. We want to see him become Superman. So when they did a new Superman movie, it should have been Tom Welling. Just like when they did a Flash movie, that's the way to bring it back to the title. They should have made it Grant Gustin, especially since they was gonna get rid of Ezra Miller anyway. Kill his ass off and make it Grant Gustin and pay him to be in the movies now. We already built up that fan base. The fan base is there. The fan base loves these characters. All you needed to do, throw Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor in that bitch and throw Tom Welling as Superman in it. Superman Returns. It could have been the same story with those two actors. Everybody would have ate that shit up. Because all those fans of Smallville would have finally been happy to see him finally become Superman and would have been on board. They didn't do that shit because DC was dumb. Warner Brothers was dumb. They like their own insular little cells where everybody got a CEO talking shit about what they think should be going on with these characters and doing dumb shit like that. Got a Batman here, pseudo Batman there, pseudo some shit over here. That's what they did. And that's why their shit was so convoluted and fucked up. So it would have been better because the movie, in that sense, would have finished off the series and brought that fan base with it. So that's why I'm for you start as a series on a show, build that fan base up, then you make the movie. Because it doesn't really work all the time going the opposite way. Oh, here's a movie about it. Did you like that? Now we have a series, because then the series looks like shit. You know why? It's treated like it's not that good because it doesn't have the same money put into it as the movie did. So they got to get by on less sets and shit like that, which makes it look like crap. But if you flip it, take Firefly. Firefly is a good show. It was a good series. Serenity as a movie was a lot better to me. Why? Because they had a bigger budget. And the excitement as a fan of Firefly, getting to see Serenity on the big screen was awesome. Because it felt like, oh man, this is going to be bigger. This is more epic now. And that's what it was to me. It was more fun. Because you already got used to this small setting with this limited money, limited budget, and small sets and shit like that. Now you get to see more stuff. You get to have more outside shots. You get to have more. We can see the shit. We can see these special effects and stuff. It was good. It was awesome. So follow that, Dave. If you wanted something else to rip off, you already did halfway. Black man always has to be the sex slave to everyone and everything, apparently. Because I always got some pissed off, beat up that don't fuck with black men in the room agreeing to that shit. That's why. Told y'all before about this shit. Why is everybody always so focused about what a black man do with his dick? Because everybody wants some of it. Men and Caucasian men and women. And everybody who can't have it mad at you. Because they can't. Or mad at you because you wouldn't want them. But with the shitty ass attitudes, why would you? Why would you? So anyway, I'm home. But they got a whole case of beer. I told you I live next door to some Latinos, boy. He got him a big ass 24 pack. If that's not a 48, Modelo, they about to get it in tonight. It is about to be lit next door. Look, they already got beers in their hand. What the fuck? Everybody got tall cans of Modelo. They just came in with another case of beer. It's about to be lit over in this motherfucker tonight. and these some working dudes, these some construction working dudes, they about to turn it up. They about to turn this bitch up. Homie down the block coming over too. Yeah, the stoop is about to be littered. So anyway, thank y'all for showing up. I'm getting out of here. I gotta get some food. I gotta get some relaxation on and get some of this stuff packing. So appreciate you coming through. Thank you for responding in the chat, giving some lively interaction, giving me some stuff to think about. I'm all for Orlando show. Can run right after Andor or Orlando movie if they make it decently. But Donald Glover, go holler at 50 Cent and Jay Z. Take the best parts of Power and try to make a Lupin style Lando movie. We need some of that shit. We need some of that. Let somebody else write it because Dave is working my nerves right now. So get somebody else. But that's it. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. $Artisan MC on Cash App or Artisan MC on PayPal. Or you can super chat that shit. That stuff never closes. It's always open. So thank you guys for coming through. I will see you next time. Peace.